So good. So incredibly delicious. So welcome everybody. Hello, howdy, how you doing? This is highly motivated. This is highly excited, highly enthused, highly positive. This is our Sunday smoke sesh. This right here is the time to get together as community, as cannabis, as non-cannabis, as whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to be. That's what we're doing right here. This is the Sunday smoke sesh. We're just here to chit chat, just here to talk, and we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to chit chat about. Why? Because the excitement going on all around us. Everything happening. Before I get too deep into anything, I just want to, hello, welcome. Just want to let everybody know that tonight we are going live on Instagram because it's Sunday. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. So we're coming to you from 5 different places. So if you see me look over here, that's Instagram. And if you see me look over here, that's everybody else. And the only comments that I'm not capable of seeing are those from Facebook. Okay, let me not hesitate too much longer. This right here is some beautiful mead. It is delicious mead. I just started drinking not too long ago this evening. I don't have anybody to drive home. I don't have anywhere I need to be. I'm here. I'm on the show. I'm not going anywhere afterwards. I'm completely in relaxation mode. So this is a honey wine, or a wine made completely from honey. And so we call it mead. This one right now I'm drinking is a crafted artesian meadery. All right. This is a crafted artesian meadery. This is Dragon's Heart. This is so delicious. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. So to get the show started, but as well as that, I'm just pouring a lot more. So that's to get the show started. But also, even more exciting, I rolled a absolute badonkadonk, not even a regular donkadonk, but a huge donkadonk. So this tonight is my 2.5 gram, which one is it? Lemon haze. So it's lemon haze in a rose petal. So rose petal rolling, see, I barely show it. So it's a rose petal rolling paper that I use, but inside it's lemon haze. So it's lemon haze with rose, and it's completely organic, natural rose petal wraps. See that right over there? Okay, so that's what I'm using tonight. And you see it's a big, gigantic 2.5 gram doink-a-doink. It's huge. It smells lovely. It smells natural. And it's lemon haze. So the lemon haze profile with the rose, I'm very excited to see how that turns out. And then later, if that finishes at any point, I've got so many preparations tonight. If that finishes, then I have a hybrid leaning. Hybrid. It's like hybrid. It's smells delicious. It's garlic fusion. So a little bit of garlic fusion and a little bit of lemon haze mixed with some gorgeous rose rolling papers. And we might even have a guest tonight. Might even have Brandon come by and come chit chat with everybody. That'll be great. It'll be great to see what he's up to and what's going on. Excuse my voice. I can't seem to get it back. I have tried and I've tried, but I keep losing my voice. But I keep using it. But I keep losing it. I'm using it and I'm losing it all at the same time. So welcome everybody to the Smoke Sesh. Thank you for joining me. Let me go ahead and get this thing lit up. I'm already drinking. It's mead. Lovely. Again, honey wine. I'm gonna have to give you some great quick instructions or directions of how to make it yourself. You can make it at home. Actually, I just picked up today at a very natural market in Gainesville. I picked up, and we also did the Butterfly Museum. Beautiful. Got some more plants for the botanical gardens here. So I'm so excited for those to go into the ground. But today I picked up some Tupelo honey. Tupelo honey comes from the Tupelo black gum trees in the swamps of the panhandle of Florida. It's the only place they grow. They might grow other places, but I'm pretty sure that's it. That's like one of the only places you can find it in the panhandle between Tallahassee or Pensacola and Tallahassee. So between Pensacola and Tallahassee, you've got these black gum swamp trees, and they're Tupelo trees. So the honey comes directly from those trees. Well, no, not from the trees, but from the bees pollinating those trees. It's a lot of brain work right now. Okay, so let me get this thing started. Rose petal paper, but not even paper. It's rose petal. One sec. Let's do this. Rose petals, actual rose petals. Okay. So these are actual rose petals that have been fused together. I can almost smell like I was gonna say a garlic, but that would be my fingers. I was doing a mortar and pestle before I started the show. I can hear it out there. They're seasoning it. They're getting it ready. We picked it up today at a Goodwill. It's never been used. It's an old school, like volcanic rock mortar and pestle that looks like a dog coming out, but it's a pig. We looked it up, and it's really neat. But it's never been seasoned. So to properly season a mortar and pestle, you want to first put in a good chunk salt, like a coarse ground Himalayan salt. You want to grind that in there until it's like a paste. And then you want to add some more and grind it in again. Then you want to rinse all that out, let it dry completely, and then get some beautiful garlic cloves. Big, giant, gorgeous garlic cloves, and mash them in there and spread that around till that gets deep into the pores of the unit. There's so many different steps, and it can take hours to properly season a good mortar and pestle. So before the show, I was starting, and my fingers smell like garlic right now. They're so good. Oh, that's delicious. Okay, moving on. Let me get this started. Look, 7 minutes in, I still haven't lit it. What am I doing? Oh, it's huge. Look at that. I rolled that right before the show. I don't want to burn the paper too much before I get to taste the paper and the lemon haze together. And again, these are rose petals, so I don't know how they burn. I've never tried this. Got it. Remember, no nicotine. I can't do any nicotine. And that's the paper on this. Okay, let's keep going. Normally, the only time I light it like this is when I don't want to get a runner. I don't want to even take the chance of getting a runner. Oh, wow. In the air. I mean, I tasted something like a sweetness and a flower, but not overwhelming, not overly rosy. But in the air just then, I got this incredible whiff of, it's like a bouquet of flowers, not just roses, but so many other natural aromas that just hit me. Wow. This would be the most feminine of cigars that I've ever had, which is amazing because this is like a cigar. Look how big this is. This is huge. Smells gorgeous. I think that's the combination of the lemon haze and the rose petal papers. Just, delicious. Anyways, thank you for joining me on the Smoke Sesh tonight from all the different channels that you're coming to me from. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Tonight I'm drinking a little bit of mead, Dragon's Heart from Crafted Breweries. Crafted. Okay. I'm not big on promoting other people. Actually, I don't give a shit. They deserve it. It's a good mead. Honey wine. When you've got a good honey wine, you've got a good honey wine. Okay. I'm celebrating a little bit because finally, even though it's not done, even though it's not completed, Oragamji.com is now live. So if you get a chance, check it out, whatever. Go look at it, critique, Tell me what I need to fix. There's a lot. There's a lot. But even then, every time I looked at it, I made another change. Every time I looked at it, I added something else. And I decided, instead of constantly doing that, constantly judging myself, constantly putting myself on the chopping block, I decided I'm going to do it different. I'm just going to post it. I'm just going to make sure my website is live, it's active, and it's ready to go. That's it. And if there's tweaks that I have to do, there's tweaks I have to do. If there's spelling errors that I overlooked, I can go back and fix these things. There's extra goodies I wanted to add, extra effects, and the way the movement of the site worked. But Oregonji.com would have always been a constant movement, a constant change. So I wanted it out there. So it's live. Just want to let everybody know. My Dragon's Heart drink tonight is full, a bit of a celebration of the website. It's live. It's rocking and rolling. So Oregonji.com. And you'll even see here on the bottom of my screen there. Okay. Also, if that's not enough, let me just over here. I got fancy. You ready? Boom. Check this out. Boom. Wait, you don't get to see it. You're on Instagram. So on Instagram, you don't see what I'm doing, but I'm pressing buttons over here on my Restream, which sends out a QR code to everybody on the video screen. I'll figure that out and be fancy on Instagram one day. But at the moment, not as fancy. So at the moment, if you're on Instagram, definitely go to Oregonji.com and you'll see all the goodies that I have there. So that's what's going on. That's what's happening. That's the excitement going on. Got the website up and going. There's a lot of other happenings. Tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday in Hollywood, California, in Hollywood, Florida, they have C-Lab. C-Lab is an industry event where there's going to be doctors and lawyers and politicians and CEOs from a lot of the different cannabis companies all coming together for 2 days in a giant conference, in a great opportunity for them to be legacy, for them to be corporate, for them to be on that C-level suite. So Monday and Tuesday, that's going on in Hollywood, Florida. I'm probably going to be in Tampa, seeing what I can do to help, seeing what I can do to get things moving. Very exciting things, though, that are coming very soon in the pipeline. So cheers to that as well. I'm just cheersing every opportunity I get to drink a little bit more of this Dragon's Heart. But I've got to be careful. It tastes so light, so nice, but it gets you. It's strong. It's a Vikings drink. So okay. Moving on. Tonight, I didn't want it to be too heavy. I didn't want the conversation to have to be, so serious. But there's a lot of different serious topics that we have to talk about. I just put out another paper that will be released tomorrow on LinkedIn that's going to be talking about Parkinson's and cannabis, and how cannabis there are new revolutionary treatments that are coming to light that are going to be incredibly beneficial for people with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia. This is something that in my own family right now we're dealing with. And right now in my own family, my stepmother, she's quickly having some issues. And so we are learning very quickly about this disease. And how and even in my own family, it does run in parts of my family where there's dementia and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and a combination thereof, where it's fast deterioration of the brain. I feel my cannabis smoking and cannabis use may make me less of a target than other members of the family. And again, I apologize about my voice tonight. I can't seem to get it back. I mean, I'm sorry, not sorry. What am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. So there you go. So I have a paper coming out, and I did a video last week, and I put the video out, but the paper is a little bit different. It explains things a little bit more about THCV and CBGA and the synergistic combination of the two together. Absolutely incredible. I mean, incredible work. It's in the combination. It's incredible work because it's not singular cannabinoids, but it is the full spectrum. But it is isolating individual ones to be more poignant, to be used differently, to be used in combination. And these combinations are what helps to heal. So Monday, I have a new paper coming out there. And next week, on that Monday, I have another paper being released, already scheduled, talking about THCV and how it can reduce your need for insulin. It can help regulate the blood sugar of the body, and in combination can help you start to regulate not only eating patterns, but it works as an appetite suppressant. It works to open up blood cells and get old cells reactivated. THCV, which is the extended hydrocarbon, only found in sativas and usually only found in like Durban poison or Colombian gold strains. Meantime, I'm smoking this big doink-a-doink rose petal paper with the lemon haze, and it's delicious. I mean, I promised myself that I don't go into too much of a detail, and I talk about what I'm smoking, like, oh, it's this, it's that, but interesting. I thought the rose paper would be overwhelming, but I get a great aroma. The overall aroma in the room is a little more floral, a little more delicious, a little more lifting and appealing. But these are rose petal, again, if you're just joining us. And I'm smoking some lemon haze, which is sitting around like 20, 22, 23%. Nothing dramatic, nothing incredible, nothing, oh my God. And what's great about that is it's got a good terp. I think the terpenes are almost at 3%. For me, THC is not everything. THC is only one thing. I'm looking for a larger picture. I'm looking for the flavor, the taste, the aroma, a little bit of everything. So we were talking about Oregonji right there, Oregonji.com. It's now live, and this is a great place that you can go find past episodes. There's some great blogs and papers that are going to be released only on the website. We're going to have a direct website chat. So if you have any questions, you can directly message there to get answers to a lot of your cannabis questions. Because I know I can ramble on a bit, especially tonight if I'm drinking on a Sunday smoke sesh. And again, tonight, there is no topic. Whatever we talk about, we talk about. Whatever. Tonight is not to have the expectation or the pressure of having something specific to talk about, because that's not what this is right now. This is just us getting together really quickly at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night for a little smoky smoke, a little drinky drink, a little talky talk, a little bit of community coming together, because that's what we are. We're all the same under the leaf. We're all community. We just don't talk enough. We don't get together enough. We don't do shit like this enough. So that's why we have highly motivated. Highly motivating each other to bigger tomorrow, bigger future, bigger ideas, more community, more understanding. So that's the whole spiel we've got going on here. That's it. That's what this is. There's no topic. There's nothing. It is what it is. So thank you for joining. If you just joined on the Insta Cha-Cha, remember, you can also find me on many other networks and many other places. Okay. And I let it go out. I should be ashamed of myself. I do feel a little ashamed. So anyway, so I was mentioning Oregonji.com is live and going. So definitely check it out. Oregonji, ORAGANJI.com. So we're also going to have links there to show you where we're going to have educational seminars. Planning on doing pop-up cannabis education. Pop-up cannabis education for the masses. If you've got questions about combination, about dietary, about regulating blood sugar, or opening up and rewiring the brain, let's talk about it. Let's get scientific. I have gone through the training of making sure that what I say is proper and that what I say does not step out of line from what the medical standard would be as far as the research and what has been done on cannabis. So I only speak from the mouth of double blind studies and papers that have been proven many times over. We're just going to get a little more dragon's heart in there. I'm going to try not to drink all of it. And I might, because I have another one in the freezer. These are great, super cold. Wow. Okay. Normally, you don't catch me drinking. Normally, I won't drink, and I just like a smoky smoke. It's very rare that I ever have any alcohol. I don't really enjoy it. I don't like it. But I like sweet things. I like honey. And honey is a superfood just like cannabis. We should do a show on honey and cannabis, two superfoods that infuse together. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm going to write that one down. If I can find something to write things down with. Okay. Did I get ash in there? Almost. All right. So honey and cannabis, two super foods. I like that one. Okay. But it's true. Cannabis, much like honey, an incredible superfood. With cannabis, you can eat the seeds. You can eat them dried, kind of like you would like any shelled nuts or something, or shelled seeds that you can eat seeds, garanim. Um, I forgot what they are. Sunflower seeds. So cannabis can be eaten much the same way. You just don't open them up. You eat the whole thing, and you crunch, crunch, crunch. I've eaten them roasted. I've eaten cannabis seeds in so many different ways. But not just that. A handful of cannabis seeds is all the amino acids you need for an entire week. Insane. So plus the leaf. The leaf has certain nutrients. I mean, when you're eating raw cannabis, you're talking about the omegas, omega-3, omega-6. It naturally activates the already omega-3s in the body. Omega-6, magnesium, manganese, all of these root vitamins that your body requires. And then the fiber is incredible. I think somebody once said there's protein. I think maybe I even misunderstood it. Protein. I have to double check that. So still smoking this 2.5 gram doink doink. It's nice. I did not know how these papers were going to burn. So it's smoking well. It tastes good. Not just that, it's burning relatively slow. So whatever they've done to these papers, it's neat. It doesn't seem to be bothering my throat too much. I do notice a little bit of I've already lost my voice. But in me losing my voice, I'm getting it back and I'm losing it. I'm getting it back and I'm losing it. I mean, I'm already sensitive. I'm drooling. Hope I don't drool too much. I hope I have something else to drink over here besides alcohol. I just keep drinking. I'm thirsty. I mean, it's tasty, but I'm thirsty. But if I keep drinking it, then I'll be drunk. I'm a cheap date. I can't drink much. I mean, this is a lot. This bottle right here, you drink the whole thing. What is that? That's like a pound or two of alcohol. No, I don't know. A pound of alcohol. I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth. That's a considerable amount. I mean, if I went to go out and I had a few drinks, that would at least be 1, 2, 3. 3 drinks, I'd be sloshed. I'd have to call an Uber, and I'd have to call it early because at the 3rd drink, I'm like, I'm going out to party more. It's a dangerous thing. So that's why I actually have not really drinking on a recreational level. I mean, this is like medicinal. This is medicinal for me right now. Okay. This is all medicinal. This is all highly needed. I'm highly motivated. the week, this week with the hurricanes and then with running all over the place. And look, I even tried getting close to Tampa and I couldn't. Weather was fine, but the flooded roads, no power, nobody's open. There's no gas. I concentrated on Ocala. I concentrated my efforts in Gainesville, Ocala, while roads reopen, while people get their stuff going again. I don't want to be in the way, but there's so much chaos going on. There's so much happening. And with Oregonji.com now going online, so many more great avenues to bring super videos, super education, super resources, and soon testimonial events, community coming together, not just selling shit, but teaching shit, being there as more than just a vendor, people being there more than just. Instead, you're learning from doctors, and that's the kind of events I enjoy. I like educational, health and wellness events, and so with Oregonji, we're going to have that opportunity to get out there, and we're going to be doing pop-up events. So just educational classes, and we're going to be doing much larger scale educational doctor events, where each doctor is possibly going to come in, speak about their specialty. That's an awesome thing. And you're going to find Oregonji at more events doing their education. So all these cannabis themed events that are coming up that are planned, like the Florida Cannabis Festival, or there's a whole bunch, and my brain's not quite working, but Oregonji will be there, and we will be there on an educational level. That's what I love. We are there to help the community understand what cannabis is. Those that even have been using for so many years, they're like, I don't need no damn education. What am I going to do with education? I've been smoking this shit since I've been a little kid. Do you understand THC or THCV, CBGA in her acidic forms, or CBN, where it could possibly stop the degradation of osteoporosis? Oh, what the hell you talking about, boy? That's a lot. And it is a lot. It is. I had to unlearn and relearn cannabis. That's what changed the whole thing for me. That's what brought cannabis full circle for me. Was understanding that I didn't understand it. Was understanding that I had to relearn it. Mm. Mm. Oh, that is delicious. Okay. Every time I drink it, it's even more delicious than it was the time before. It's Sunday. I'm not stressed. I'm not worried. I'm celebrating just a little bit. Little wins. In life, you need to celebrate little wins. I know that it's easier said than done. And my celebration is this whole thing of mead. That's a celebration. Mentally and physically, I'm enjoying this. Little wins. And if you don't celebrate those little wins, then you don't appreciate the big ones. You don't see them coming. You've got to be able to envision already doing better, already doing business as a large entity. You have to already see yourself that way. And that's what helps manifest it. That's what helps create it. And I'm referring, of course, to Oregonji and our future national events that we already have two planned. Wow. Okay. Not giving anything, just enjoying things and having small wins by drinking some Dragon's Heart, because I don't drink. So I'm sure when the show is over, I'll be loud and singing, like a big pizza pie. That's amore. Ah. Da, 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 da. I don't know why drinking makes me sing. I guess it's more of the loss of inhibition. With cannabis, I drop everything off and I put it on that imaginary table. I let things go very easily. Don't worry, they're still there. I still know about it, but I let things go. And that eases the mind, it eases the body, and it gives you that ability to be easier with life. Excuse me, gassy. Look what I'm drinking. A little bit of bubbly here, a little bit of bubbly there. So, and this is also carbonated mead, slightly carbonated. Usually the mead that I make, yeah, it comes out slightly carbonated. Okay, same thing. This is more bubbly though, just more bubbly. With alcohol, alcohol doesn't just drop the problems. You forget entirely. Like with alcohol, you just don't know what the fuck is going on. Issues, problems, yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember something. There was something going on. There's some stuff. And with alcohol, it changes that perspective. It because you forget things, you also have a loss of inhibition, a loss of, all right, new me is out because you don't feel the old you. You only feel the new you temporarily. That's that's where I like cannabis instead usually because it keeps my brain and it keeps me understanding both feet on the ground, keeping me grounded, not making me forget, but giving me the opportunity to take that, lift it, and put it right there. So I know it's still there, but it doesn't it doesn't take over the main space in my mind. It doesn't take over, everything I do in every waking moment. It gives me the opportunity to breathe. But with alcohol, it gives you the opportunity to breathe a lot. And then the next morning, what do I do? Why did I drink? It doesn't happen to me with mead. Mead, I never have a hangover, so that's why I enjoy that. With mead, I have a very good night's rest, and I get up a little bit later than what I should usually. I'm usually up by 6 in the morning latest. I'll be up by 8, and it's an admin day. What is tomorrow? Monday? Yeah, tomorrow's administration, and maybe some close things. Um, and just want to let you know, today is some Hawkeye Pierce apparel. I may start my own line of clothing called Hawkeye Pierce or Pierce. I don't know. I don't care. But it's part of the Hawkeye Pierce fit. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I actually I was wearing this shirt for the Butterfly Museum today because it's got hibiscus on it, and I bought a new hibiscus plant earlier today, and some great, beautiful plants from the Butterfly Museum for the botanical gardens. So yeah, love it. That's so. I guess the shirt is kind of more in theme for the butterflies earlier and for the plants that I picked up. Very excited. See, small things to be excited about. That's why I'm celebrating. Small wins, great plants, great day with the family, and no mishaps, nobody angry, nobody this. No, I'm sure they're still angry, but I didn't see it at least. So there you go. That's fine. Smoking a big badoink doink. And I hope you're smoking too. And if you're not smoking as well, good, fine. You don't have to. If you don't even do cannabis, that's fine. That's not what the show is. You're all welcome. Everybody is. We're all the same under the leaf. Okay. Oh, that's so good. I mention that a lot. I'll go over it a lot. Where I'm like, oh, we're all the same under the leaf. And we are. I like to stress the understanding that this show is not necessarily educational. This show is not necessarily just for cannabis users or just for stoners or just for connoisseurs, organjis, ganjiers, whatever you want to call them. No, this show's for everybody. Everybody who just wants to chit chat, just wants to talk, may have questions about cannabis or its use. Maybe you're curious about getting into the industry. I've been in the industry in Florida, in the legal industry of cannabis here in Florida. The gray area of it beforehand. I was in it my entire life. But here in Florida, about 7 years now. And I came from more of a legacy side, a legacy market, into a legal market, a legal medical market. So federally, still not legal. But on a state level, medically, Florida is legal. So that's where I operate. And I travel the state of Florida from tip to tip, talking to doctors, educating them about the endocannabinoid system, about your CB1 around here somewhere, and your CB2, which is also around here. But both those cannabinoids, or not cannabinoids, both those receptors control a lot of different functions within the body. And once they are activated together, there are some papers out about the CB3 receptor now being activated and now being able to bring the body into a beautiful homeostasis, regulating not only temperature. That's where the endocannabinoid system was key. It was key in regulating temperature control throughout the body. It was key in regulating other parts of the body that required its help, but it will go to where it's needed, and then it leaves everything else alone, and we start to falter. Cannabis is one of those things that's like vitamins for the body. When you smoke it, you're burning all those cannabinoids. You're burning everything beneficial, everything that the body requires. You're burning, and you're just getting high. When you eat the plant raw, you're getting so much more into the body. When you make tea with flour, you do it at a low enough temperature at 200 below 250 degrees, you're now dealing with what's called CBGA. Stands for the acidic. CBG being the mother of all cannabinoids, the beginning, the precursor to THC and CBD. That means precursor before THC, before CBD. But as a tea, you're doing a live decarboxylation in the body, and you are getting these cannabinoids in their full spectrum. And the body is able to assimilate those. So I talk to doctors not only about this, but about understanding the patients and what they're actually looking for. Because as a doctor, they may not use cannabis. I have a few doctors that do, quite a few, but I also have quite a few that don't, and they don't understand cannabis. So it's my job to understand, help them understand it, and help them understand whose products are good for who. Because everybody makes great products, but they're not great at everything they do. So I'm great at pointing people in the direction of where they might need for what products are best for them. I believe in organics or nada. I love organic cannabis. It's all about that. It's all about the living soil, and it's all about the hand treatment. That means you hand trim it. You don't want it to roll through a machine. You don't want it hit by ultraviolet lighting. So I talk about cannabis beyond just the education of the doctors. I help educate the patients. My background in cannabis, hey, how you doing? My background in cannabis is a since you just gotten here, just want to let you know tonight we're drinking a little bit of mead, and this is by the Crafted Brewery. I love their mead. This is a Dragon's Heart, and it is flipping licious. Not often do I drink, but I am doing a little. Oh, did you like that? Was it fire? Without distillate. We'll talk about that in just a second because I'm talking about how much I love my cannabis and how cannabis helps. So just drinking a little bit in a pre-celebration this evening. So moving on. Um, but that's what I do, and I travel throughout the state, uh, giving seminars, private events, educational events. Are you down? That's awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna be there yet. I don't have a ticket for C-Lab, and I'm not. I've been told to stay on my beat and work my beat of sorts. I guess I'm not needed at C-Lab. Maybe I'm too loud. Maybe I'm too much energy for C-Lab. Champs, it's a whole different story. But C-Lab, I don't know. But anyways, in that's what I do. And I talk to doctors, I talk to patients, but I also talk to the offices. I should. I have no ticket. But okay, but I should. You're right. I might. I might. I was just gonna think I might just come anyways. It's Hollywood, Florida. How would I miss these things? So I talk to doctors and patients, and I also talk to the offices and bring them together so that they can work together as community. They can offer their services to minorities. There was, I want to say it was about a year and a half ago. I was doing something with M for it was minorities for medical marijuana, and they were doing free recommendations. Um, they were doing free recommendations for people that could not afford the doctors and they could not afford the state fee. So this organization, M4MM, was taking care of all of that and to help get in the middle of things and to help coordinate things. And it was great because the company I was working for at the time, I got them to pay for all of that. And that was great because that right there showed community. And they were like, yes, we'll pay for it. Absolutely. We want to be a part of it. So that's where I come in. I'm the community legacy liaison for doctors and dispensaries. I'm all about product. I don't believe in. I mean, look, I if I don't smoke it, I wouldn't promote it. That's like if I can't eat it, I won't smoke it. That's become a big deal for me. That's almost my new campaign of sorts when it comes to cannabis. If you can't eat it, you better not smoke it. When you eat cannabis, and there's only here in Florida, there's really only three people's cannabis that I really feel comfortable eating, um, because of the definite organics lines. I want my cannabis organic. I don't want it sprayed. I don't want pesticides. Those things are almost impossible to completely get out of your cannabis. Okay. I told you Sunday we don't do a topic, but I do want to talk about something. Mm. So I have a paper that I released last week on CHS, which is cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome. And this is something a lot of people are talking about because people are getting sick or getting paranoid and getting acute sicknesses or dizzy spells like crazy, crazy, like a bad trip almost. They're getting headaches or um, uh, I said vomiting. I said cloudiness of brain. They're getting acute, immediate anxiety. So this has in the last 10 years since commercial cultivation of cannabis. That's about the time I started hearing about issues with CHS. Again, cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome. There's no the doctors are saying it's idiopathic. They don't know the cause. They don't know what's bringing it on. And I put out a paper the other day where I suggested that CHS, cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome, is being brought on by pesticides and and nutrients, heavy metal nutrients that are being sprayed or fed directly into the root system of the plants. So a lot of plants, right before they're harvested, they're going to do what's called a flush. The flush is going to get out everything in that plant and clean it on the inside as much as they can before they harvest and they dry it so that the plant's natural flavors and goodies can really come out. And all those pesticides and sprays and crap like that goes away. Mm. But one of the side effects of pesticides and one of the side effects of spraying one's cannabis can be CHS. Many of those same symptoms that cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome is directly displaying um, can be labeled in a whole slew of other issues that can be attested to other stress chemicals that are sprayed after the fact um, to the plant. So when I say that, okay, I'm back. So some suppliers, once testing is done for their cannabis, and right before it's getting packaged, they want more terpiness. They want their flower to smell better, taste better. They want it to be shocking when you pull it out of the bag and when you first smoke it. So some of these very large multi-state operators are spraying their cannabis while it's getting dried or cured. And I don't want to make any point any fingers to some of these closed container cure systems that I have maybe spotted and I've had a lot of questions about, and they were not. I was pushed aside. Other companies I've worked for in the past, and so knowing better now what they were doing in those companies helps me understand. Ooh, I'm drinking some mead. Okay, uh, helps me understand now what I think it could be. It's a combination of things, and it could be heavy pesticides that are not getting flushed out of the plants. It could be heavy metal nutrients still staying within the plants and causing sicknesses once smoked or even eaten down the road. I mean, so once it's extracted as a rosin or as a distillate, it's still a tainted product. So in that tainted product, it could even be what they are spraying the cannabis with. Now, I've heard people having cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome from cannabis that they've picked up or delta 8 that they have picked up at a smoke shop. Mm. Now, that shit's being sprayed. They're spraying that for flavor, for taste. Like, oh, look at our weed, it's better. And they show it to you, and you're like, oh, it smells amazing. And you smoke it, and initially it tastes good. And you smoke it, and initially maybe you get a little bit itsy bitsy high. Like Delta 8 would be the lesser high. So you're not quite high, but you're lesser high. And you're always chasing that high. It's always just a little, it's not quite Delta 9. It's not quite the female sativa plant. It's not quite medical cannabis. So when you get to medical cannabis, there's a cleanliness, there's a testing it's gone through. But do I feel there are companies out there here in Florida that have possibly sprayed their cannabis to have a better bag appeal, a better taste, a better oomph in the public? Yes, I believe there are some out there. And that is a really, really big accusation. I only say that because I'm drinking. Shh. Mm. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that. Mm. I love ciders. Apple ciders, very delicious. Hummingbird water, so good. And a mead like this, that's good stuff. Okay, let's get back to it. I also got the flower from Gold Flower. It smells just stanky enough to want to eat it. It is though. Isn't that one of the most delicious things? It really is. I am delighted. I am delighted that you went and got some. And I'm so glad that you're trying it. I see over here the Gold Flower vape that I recommended is fire. Which one did you end up getting? Such a different without distillate. It really is. When you get rosin, see, I don't like, I like to only smoke. If I only have the opportunity, I'll only smoke joints. There's the lemon haze in a rose petal paper. Okay, I'm all bougie and fancy tonight. Lemon and rose and beautiful shit. And it is. It's been very tasty. That's what you got. The Florida Gator. That is lovely. The Florida Gator is Orange Bowl, which is um, a Ricky Williams Heisman 34 brand or strain, but it's a pheno hunt or a pheno cross with double banana fuel. I'm pretty sure, or maybe not. I know it's one of their pheno hunts of the Orange Bowl, and just fantastic. Then I got pre rolls for something else. Another something I recommended. Awesome. So when I make a recommendation, I stand behind it. Um, I'm doing a lot of ums. Gold Flower Cannabis, which is a medical provider here in the state of Florida. Great weed. They're hand trimmed, they're organic, and they're living soil. So everything they produce is top notch. It's produced by legacy operators. That means people that come from the old school and do it the old school way. That makes your medicine the best. It not only tastes best, It's the stickiest, the juiciest, the stankiest. I saw that there in a comment. I saw some stanky. You want to eat it? Then I got some pre rolls and something else, and pre rolls again. I love pre rolls because sometimes I don't have the time to roll. I mean, I rolled this one. That's a that's a beautiful. That's like one of my best rolls. My hand rolls right there. I'm like so proud of this one. And this is the garlic fusion. I love a good garlic strain. I love anything super stinky. And it was orangey. I tasted it earlier. I tested it. I wanted to make sure, I wanted to see what it tasted like. And I had a little bit of the lemon haze left and a little bit of the garlic fusion. And I rolled a little itsy bitsy joint with the two of those together. And it was like orangey. It was citrusy. It was stinky citrusy. It was, wow. Loved it. Went right to my head. Very creative. Very, whoo, let's do some shit. And I like that. That's what I like about cannabis, where it makes your body and mind together want to do shit. Clean the house, play the piano, learn the guitar, all in the same hour. Let me see, and then I got dun dun dun. You turned your bestie to it. Let me tell you something. Yeah, the gator is citrusy, isn't it? It is so, and it's almost like a blue cheese citrusy. So it's so citrus. You taste that orange, and if you taste close, there's lime, limonene, citroen. It's a little piney at the back end, like little piney, not, but not. It's not. What it is, it's the citrus stink that makes you feel like it could be. There's no pinene. It's delicious. Let me see. The gator is citrusy, but it's citrusy because it brings it in a whole different way, and it gives you that orange stink. Look, I'm so excited. I think I've got some Florida gator hiding somewhere. May have to find that. Now I'm all excited to smoke some Florida gator again. Can't wait for Mount Hood Magic to come back, or some. My favorite right now is the Emerald Apricot. If there's any flavor of weed right now that they are doing, that is my super fave, that would be the Emerald Apricot. Just super delicious. Oh, hits on all the right levels. Aroma, terp, and flavor. So the flavonoid, the terpenoid, the aromanoid, the aromanoid. I'm gonna coin that. The aromanoid. But welcome again, everybody, to Highly Motivated. This is the beginning of your week, right here. Not Monday. Now. Like Anthony Bourdain used to say, live by the seat of your pants. But have a little intention, a little bit of a plan to live by the seat of your pants. So Sunday's the beginning, just letting you know. Now's the time just to mentally start creating, motivating, manifesting your week as you go to sleep tonight. You're going to sit there as you're falling asleep, and you're going to start to visualize and already see your manifestation for the week ahead of you. So I want you to visualize that. I want you to see that. And that's, boom. That's how it works. And every night you're going to have to do this. Tonight, tomorrow, the next night. Visualize this whole week. Bring the week together. Manifest it, create it. Boom. Oh, let me see. The gator is citrusy. And you got the Emerald Apricot pre-rolls. Didn't even know they had them in pre-rolls. I would have picked them up. That is delicious. You are going to enjoy those so much, whether they're a half gram or a full gram. All their pre-rolls have really been on fire. Normally when I get half gram pre-rolls, by the time you light it, by the time it gets going, by the time you get a good pull and it's burning right, most of my pre-roll's gone. So I usually enjoy a full gram. But with their pre-rolls over at Goldflower Cannabis, wow, they are awesome. They're hand rolls. It comes from a hand roll machine, but a hand roll is better than a cone. Always. A cone, you're stuffing. And when you stuff a cone, the burn's going to be funny. I'm just saying, you've got to really ground your shit down tiny in order to get it in that cone. But when you're doing a hand roll, it's different. It's different because you can leave some nice chunks. You can leave some juicy, gooiness in that cannabis instead of grinding it all out. Look, I look at cannabis like I look at coffee. Coffee beans are green, they last forever. Once you roast them, they're only good for like 60 days. Once you grind them, they're only good for like a day, 2 days. So when you grind down the cannabis completely down to powder and you stuff it into a cone, it's dry. It's losing all its sticky and all of its juicy and all of its goodness. It's losing everything that your body needs to break it down with and be like, oh, it's lovely. It's flavor, it's aroma, it's, I don't know. So in a pre-roll, I'll show this one because it's a really nice pre-roll. I'm really proud of it. I feel like I deserve an award for this one. It's like the prettiest one I have done all week. I should award myself. I should have like a wall of awards that I give to myself. Oh, I could tell I've been drinking. Wow. Welcome everybody to Highly Motivated. I'm celebrating the launch of Oregonji.com. It's live. It's on fire. It's not done, but it's live. And I don't care if it's not perfect. I used to care if things were absolutely perfect. But then stress would overwhelm me and overtake me. The website's good and it's done for now. And it's enough to get out there to the community. So we have good blogs, good stories, good communication. You can go backtrack all my videos so you can see everything I've ever talked about. I talk a lot, but I'm also going to have some shorts that are going to be put up there. So in the little itsy bitsy shorts of the videos. So if you like what I'm saying, you're like, oh, let me go watch this video. Oh, you like what I'm saying there? Great. Let me go watch this video. Almost a springboard to more of my talkie. My goal is to come to you all every episode as authentic as I can. Not the mask, not the person that I've tried to be my entire life, but the me now. I'm having a little drinky poo. I'm having a little smoky smoke. I'm an older father of 5. I have a love and education and understanding of cannabis. That's it. Authentic. So I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to educate about it. I'm here to laugh about it. I'm here to laugh at you about it, or let you laugh at me about it. Okay. Oh, wow, it's so delicious. I'm drinking the whole bottle tonight. So in case you're just joining me, I'm just having a little drinky poo and enjoying the Oregonji.com has been launched. I'm smoking with all of you, the lemon haze in the, has such a nice aroma. Now I smell more rose. Oh, that is good. So in a rose petal wrap in the lemon haze cannabis that's inside of it, it's an interesting flavor combination. I was really worried it was going to make my throat really sore because not, rolling the consistency of the paper, it is like a rose petal, like a bunch of rose petals fused all together and dried and worked into a paper. So definitely interesting. I don't know if I'll do it again. I really like to stay as natural as humanly possible. And that's why I've really been enjoying the raw papers, the raw gold. Just a great, simple paper. Just beautiful. You don't taste it. And that's what I enjoy about a good paper. I can smoke it all the way down to the very end, and it's very easy on my throat, easy on my lungs, and it allows me to taste the cannabis as much as possible. And that's what I enjoy. If I can get a good paper, I can taste the cannabis a lot better. So, anyways, I was talking about how I come to you guys authentically as I can, the 3 times a week now: Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday. And all these are no expectations. They're just smoke sessions. Just smoke sessions. Somebody messaged me privately. They said, look, why don't you talk more about the educational side? Like, I do, but then people run away. I don't want it to be just education. I want it to be people coming together. Look, growing up, the thing I always looked forward to was a smoke sesh. And why? Because I'd go over to somebody's house and we'd meet up together as friends. Um, and like we had Billy, I'm going to call him out, Billy Daniels, big guy, big, huge, just, he never wore shoes. He never wore shoes. He was like, no, I got to be in touch with the ground. And he had a long ponytail and he was into jujitsu and shit. And he was like, Oren, you're my sparring partner. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, oh, yes, you are. And he would beat the shit out of me. But he was also a great guy. And also, one of my first experiences and educational insights into cannabis being more than just something that got me high. So, anyways, he was like he was the beginning out there. And I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about just now. Holy shit. Oh, that's when you know you are high and you've been drinking too much. But it's been delicious and I've been celebrating a bit. So cannabis is so many different things. And why was I talking about Billy Daniels? Why was I using him as wow, that is like that is like as a kid. I remember he came over one day. He's like, dude, let's go. I'm like, where? He's like, just let's go. I'm like, all right. So I got in his car and he drove down the oil field road. So I lived in Texas at the time, in Sugarland. And there was this road called Oil Field Road. And he was like, all right, we're going to oil field. I'm like, why? He was like, just trust me. We're going. I'm like, okay, we're going. So we get there and he pulls, there's no lights. It's no houses. He pulls down this um, road where houses would be, but none are built. And I think they're planned on being built. And he pulls into like one of these little cul-de-sacs. It's really dark and he's looking around. He goes, no cops. I'm like, yeah, no cops. What the fuck's going on here? Shit's about to get weird. But I guess as a kid, I didn't even fucking think that. Not then, not like 40 odd years ago. I mean, 35-ish years ago, whatever. So he pulls out a Coke can and he's poking and he mushes it down. It's empty. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, hold on. He's like, hold on. And he pokes some holes, just little tiny itsy bitsy holes with like a pin. He's like, looks over at me. I'm like, okay. He's like, hold on. And he pops a hole in the back of it. And he rips off the tab. He goes, okay, now we've got a pipe. I'm like, a pipe? What do you have? He goes, I have weed. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm looking over, I'm like, you have weed. So anyways, big guy pulls out the hole. And the reason I keep saying a big guy, because he was driving a car, like it was like a clown car. I don't know how we fit into this. It was like a Chevy, little two-door Chevelle or something, like a little hatchback in the back. But his seat pushed all the way back. And if I remember him properly in this car, it pushed all the way back. And so he took the whole car. And I mean, big, strong guy. And remember also the Swede, too. He drove a tiny car. I don't know why the Swede and Billy Daniels both drove itsy bitsy fucking cars. Makes no sense to me. Anyways, I don't know what I was talking about. Everybody okay? Did you hurt yourself? Oh, okay, just checking. It sounded more, just want to make sure everybody's okay. Anyways, so, but that was like so many years ago, and then I forgot what I was talking about. I mean, used Billy Daniels as an example. Why would I use him as an example? Crazy guy, crazy parties. You attribute things to certain people. He helped me understand there was more to cannabis. There was more to it. He was all about holisticness. He was all about, the health sides of cannabis. So me and cannabis go back many, many moons. in many different ways. Um, I learned to grow it before I learned to love it and understand it as something much more than just something we smoke. So when you smoke it, it's not enough. You've got to eat it. You know, you've got to be able to infuse it into butter. Butter's a beautiful way that your body likes to absorb it because it travels in fats. Mm. So I'm excited because also there's some great new adventures. I'm starting some hobbies. This is something me and Ange are going to go start a hobby. We're going to go start clay throwing. Ange, can you hear me? I'm talking about some clay throwing right now. Listen, so she let me know that in our small town, we have this great place where you can go pay and monthly and then go in whenever you want and throw clay. You know, mold clay, you can shape it, you can pick up clay and use it in their workshop and then leave it for them to run in their kiln. I love that. I think what a great convenient way to have a hobby to work on your time schedule. Because obviously here at the house I don't have a clay working area, but of course I could. I could. I could add it to this multi-purpose room that we are already multi-purposing. You notice I'm saying it loud enough that you hear me, yes? You can't hear me. Of course you can't. This room that I'm in is now a nursery, a plant nursery. It's now it's storage on top of storage, and it's the studio. So why not have clay throwing here in this room? I don't know. So my background now has been and since relearning, unlearning and relearning, and I was forced to unlearn cannabis and relearn it. I was having medical issues. I was hit by a drunk driver in 1994, and it was the beginning of a soccer career and the end of a soccer career. Um, I bought my favorite car, uh, and it was the end of my favorite car. It was the beginning and the end of like so many things. I was a well-rounded prick. I was a jerk. I was all about myself. And after the accident, I was on pain pills, amongst other things, just to kind of mentally get over things. And then when I ran out of pain pills and I ran out of opportunities to kind of get back off my ass, I I I fell inward. I got depressed, and a buddy comes over one day, and I was in pain. I was super depressed. He was like, "I wanted to talk to you." I'm like, "Fine, come in, whatever, whatever, whatever." We ordered a pizza. We're playing video games, and he's like, "Hey, you want to smoke some weed?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, whatever, let's do it." It's been a long time, you know. And I hadn't been smoking in a while. I think that was the first problem of my problems. I wasn't smoking. So, and that was like the longest tolerance break I've ever taken in my life. But of course, as a kid, I didn't even consider it that because I didn't smoke as often as I do now, or as I had done at points of my life. But I've slowed down, I've sped up, I've slowed down, I've sped up. Okay. But I didn't really ever smoke sativas because at the time I was afraid of them. I was under the impression, and I was falling silly to the stigma of sativas and how they give you anxiety, and I've always felt like the cops are going to come for you, and you smoke sativas and they smell stronger, or you smoke sativas and you're going to get crazy, or you're going to do something crazy and like jump off a balcony. But there are no balconies here. Doesn't matter, you're going to find a balcony and then you'll jump off one. I'm like, okay. So I was always silly enough to listen to the disinformation instead of listening to the real information. And then when I needed nerve and bone pain tolerance, only sativas work, not indicas. Indicas work great for mind and muscle pain. Mind and muscle pain and anything within that relation, more indica leaning and not real. And I'm just going to use sativa and indica to make it easy for you. Instead, we'll start talking about terpenes next and how individual terpenes help shape that entourage experience. But we'll stick with the sativa indica terminology for now. So I always smoked indicas because indicas are easy to grow. They grow quickly. They're tolerant to a lot of shit. You can do them in all types of places. They grow fast. They're short. They're bushy. So you don't need big, tall spaces. And most of my time, that's what I used to smoke. So I was bringing myself down physically and mentally. We were at a, and that's why I stopped smoking. So, anyways, long story short, fast forward, friend brings out a sativa, and I believe it was Durban Poison. He's like, "You're gonna love this shit, dude. You're gonna love this. This is one of my favorites." I'm like, "Okay, okay." Goes, and I remember he was like, "It's Durban." I'm like, "It's Durban." He's like, "It's Durban." I'm like, "It's Durban." I remember, and this is a long time ago. This is a long. This is like '96. Wow. And well, okay, see, this, I love hearing this. I was just reading in the comments just now. I've switched almost entirely to sativa to really focus on my medical goal with my nerves. This is it. It's understanding your cannabis, understanding how it shapes you, understanding where it shapes you. That's everything. And at that, so when I was in pain and my friend comes over with a sativa, that was a turning point. So we smoked that Durban, and within minutes we're laughing, and within minutes we're reminiscing, and within minutes I'm eating, and I'm just like I'm eating like, oh, okay, good, yeah, I'm not overly doing it, not eating because I'm bored, eating because I'm hungry, eating some high, but THCV I didn't overeat. I took a couple bites, I don't remember even the eating part. I remember we were having a moment and it was fantastic. That there was great camaraderie. I wasn't in pain, and keep in mind, I was in a lot of fucking pain, physically and mentally. I wasn't in pain. It wasn't just the friendship. A couple minutes into this joint, I wasn't able to act like that. I wasn't able to be friendly or social. I wasn't able to help my body heal or open my body up to healing because I was closed because of the pain. I was closed because of the issues and not being able to walk properly, walking with a cane, not being able to play soccer, losing my freaking car. That hit me for a long time. Twin turbo 94 Supra. And got it early. Target top. Black on black on black. Don't want to talk to anybody, right? 6 speed. All right, I'm done. Oh, I still look. You see, I'm still very angry about the car. Totaled it. This guy, I was stopped at a school crosswalk, and I was like 2 cars back from the crosswalk, and this guy came barreling, maybe 3 cars back. Yeah, maybe 3 cars, maybe. But he was barreling, and I looked at my little rearview mirror, and I just look over, and I'm like, oh shit! Boom! And he hit me from the side. There was spinning. I hit other cars. It was horrific. It's so, and I don't remember much until I woke up at the hospital. And luckily, nobody but me was injured. Wow, that's a miracle. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. It was a school crossing, and this drunk driver just barreled right in. I thank God that whatever I went through was only me. Seriously, that's oh, it even smells just delicious. Oh, I'm so excited. I love to make mead, which is honey wine. I really enjoy it. Today, I picked up some Tupelo honey. I already talked about it earlier in the show, but Tupelo honey only comes from the swamp gum trees, black gum trees in the swamp, the Tupelo trees. And so I got 3 pounds of it for I'm gonna make a gallon of mead. It's gonna be a special reserve. I might do it like with cherries or apricots. Very excited. All right, I got some. Mm. Oh, that is delicious. Really. And then this has been a very decent smokable joint. I don't feel too much of an entourage from it. Not because I'm drinking. Usually when I'm drinking mead and I'm smoking cannabis, I don't feel drunk. But the cannabis helps to shape my mental entourage. My body might feel a little silly sometimes if I'm drinking mead, honey wine. But if I'm smoking cannabis and drinking mead, the mind usually stays very clear and very direct. But the body, well, that's when I bang into shit. And so I think I'm breaking the chair. I don't know. Hey, it's been a very lovely Sunday smoke sesh. This has been a very lovely opportunity for us all to get together. And oh, what am I doing here? Okay. But switching entirely to sativa is amazing. I did that for my bone pain. From that point when I smoked with my friend, and I not only felt better, I felt better. I knew it was because it was something different. It wasn't, and it made me feel better than the pharmaceuticals had made me feel. So at that point, I started changing my entire regimen. I was starting to eat better. And I was starting to smoke more sativas, usually Durban poison type of, or Durban strains. Durban influenced, maybe touched by a Durban, but crosses, anything that there was being crossed with a Durban strain, I was finding incredibly beneficial, mentally and physically. I was starting to lose weight. That was the big deal. When I was on the pharmaceuticals, I was on these pain pills. I wasn't leaving the house. I was on shit that was like morphine. You don't leave. You just eat and eat and eat, and you let your body deteriorate and your muscles go into an atrophy. So with the THCV strains, it was like a whole new energy, a whole new activation into my body and my mind. And it pulled me out of a rut. It, so I'm reading comments here, by the way, just in case you see me laughing out of nowhere. That's funny. Touched by a Durban sounds like a song. Now I'm going to make a song out of it. I'm going to make a rap. Touched by a Durban. Okay. Interesting paper. Again, I don't think I'd get it again. And maybe I would. It's starting to get a lot more harsh right there. That hit was like super harsh right there in my throat. Mm, wow. Okay. Now's the time it gets harsh. Now's the time we go ahead and put that down. Uh, just a little too much. I'm gonna have to take a drink because that was very harsh on the throat. Look, any excuse I can just to drink the mead. But it's the end of it. It's the end of the dragon heart. If you're ever curious about mead and you want to get into it in a very light, flavorful way, these guys right here, okay? These guys. It's not, I mean, it's strong. I mean, a glass, you'll feel it. You'll want to sing, you'll want to dance, you'll want to have like a show tune going on. I don't know. I want to watch like Blazing Saddles. I think one of the funniest movies ever. And you have to watch it many different times. You can watch it once, but it's not enough. You'd have to watch it 3 or 4 times to really, like Pulp Fiction. You have to watch it 3 or 4 times to really understand it. Or like Reservoir Dogs. You've got to watch it multiple times to really feel it on a whole different level. Anything Quentin Tarantino, it's much deeper than a singular watch because what's in the story is deeper than the story. It's it's a puzzle. And so same with M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan. Oh wow. He's like he'd be watching this going, that's not my name. Shyamalan. So Sham M. Night Sham is it Shyamalan? Shammy? M. Night Shammy. I don't know. M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan. Yes, that is his name. Okay. But same with his movies. You've got to really watch them once or twice. Sometimes you'll watch it once, you're like, I don't like the way that ended. There's a reason. I mean, of course, there's a flipping reason, but it goes deeper. There's some. I like to watch movies over and over, and then I'll see things I didn't see originally. I'll see those Easter eggs and be like, oh, now I got it. Sometimes you're doing something else. Maybe you weren't paying attention, like Sham Wow, Shamalin. You know something? I would love to be the Sham Wow guy of cannabis. You know, pow, cannabis. Cannabis did that. Or like people like, well, you can't make it a fuel. Pow, cannabis can. Or, can you replace plastics? Pow, cannabis can. Or you wait. Instead of Sham Wow, it's pow, cannabis. Or bam, cannabis. Or bam is bam. Um, the cooking guy. Uh, the Louisiana cooking guy. What's his name? It doesn't matter. You bam. If I say bam, 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 he just like a bam, bam, like with spices. He spices shit up. He bam, bam, bams it. Okay, I can't remember his name right now, but I would love to take over the POW cannabis guy. If we don't have a POW cannabis guy, do we? I Emerald. That's right. Thank you. You are awesome. You are awesome. They're right there. Emerald. Emerald is the BAM. And he's great. Great right there. I've always heard good and bad things about him. But POW Cannabis, I'm going to write this down. And I don't even think I like POW. POW may not be it. It's people have died from aspirin. POW Cannabis. Nobody's died. I'm just, and why? POW Canna. Canna Power. POW Canna Power. Okay. I've been drinking, so my ideas are not as good as they normally can be. But cannabis needs a positivity influencer. It needs people out there, multiple influencers, multiple people, multiple avenues where people get out there and they're spreading the love and the joy of cannabis. Can evangelists almost. That one's, well, no, because it would just be somebody bringing the good word. So an evangelist is somebody who's evangelisting the word of God. But a can evangelist, not evangelist, but a can evangelist would be somebody bringing the good word of weed. Boom. Oh, I like that shit right there. A can evangelist. We need more can evangelists in the world. More people bringing the positivity and the joy. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. But that's what we need. We need more people out there talking about the health benefits, the building material benefits, the fuel possibilities, the renewable possibilities. We need the love of spreading the superfood, the future possibilities of what cannabis can actually be if we lower our stigma, lower our judgment, and lower our expectations and open up our hearts and our minds. We need can evangelists. That's what we need. That's what I feel I am. Sometimes it's just I'm out there spreading the good word of weed, the good understanding of cannabis and how it changes so much in the body, so much in the mind. At my tender age, I'm not so tender, but as I grow older, I feel I lean much more on cannabis and its healing properties. I eat it raw, I smoke it, I make a tea from it, I juice it, I turn it into butter, I turn it into pectin gummies. That's a little harder for me to do. I'm not great working with pectin. It's soft, it's soluble. Okay. Mm. I turn it into mead. I made one mead That was, here, I'm going to light this one up. I was coughing. Actually, wait, I have a little bit left in here. That's my Puffco proxy. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, boom, boom. Give me a little buzz, buzz. There's a little itsy bitsy left in there. So the older I get, I find I lean on cannabis so much more for, I think, the health effects, I mean, I still take vitamins, but I'm also eating cannabis. And I said I'm juicing it, I'm making a tea from it. I understand that it's more than just smoking it. And that for me was the big change in understanding. Mm. Like when it comes to doing concentrates, the older you get, you need a higher THC, especially if you're coming off of heavy pain pills. A lot of times smoking a joint is not going to be enough because you're burning it at too high of a heat. So that's where it makes a big deal. A lot of the older generation doesn't want to do concentrates because they're afraid of them, not knowing how they're going to affect the body. So I like to talk about concentrates because the way I'm doing them, let me just clear out the bowl. Ooh. When I'm able to do a higher concentration of a sativa, and that was the roll-ups actually, roll-ups batter that I was just smoking. Because of that and the high THC that I get from it, that's going to allow me to kind of clear my mind, gets the blood rushing enough in the body, it activates everything. It because it's a sativa, it's dealing with my pain centers, my nerve pain and my bone pain is reducing dramatically. If I had a headache, gone. Or at least it would reduce it enough down where I could use like a hybrid leaning indica strain to rest my mind or rest my muscles, which would get rid of hopefully the rest of the headache. But as a sativa, it would stop I think it stops like the rush, the endorphin rush that creates migraines. So it stops it in its tracks before it's even able to get to that point. And then a trick that a monk I saw do, it's you take your hands like this, shake them all about. No, you don't have to shake them all about, but it helps. Nothing at all. And you and you do this, just this, and a good solid hit. And you want to do this for a little period of time. Like if you have any pain in the back of your neck right here because of stress, and you got the headache already coming up this way, you feel a headache behind your eye, or you feel a headache on the side of your head, just this. And you can look at it if you like, you can breathe, but you're giving a solid hit, okay? So it's, as you're hitting it, you're doing it with intention. You're doing it with solid intention. And what this is doing is freeing up those pathways to your brain and through your body, allowing whatever is blocked in your body to release. And like that, it starts to release. And the whole time, breathe. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. By changing our breathing, by changing our habits, by loosening up these pathways, we get rid of headaches. Okay. It's the combination of things. So I smoke a sativa and I smoke high THC. The older generations need it if they're coming off of pain pills. They need a high THC to be able to get the effect that they're used to while they're transitioning off of pain pills and into cannabis full run. They need that transitional stronger medication. And again, I don't do it all the time. I do my Puffco Proxy as an additive, as an added yum yum, as an added yum yum. But it's lovely, and it was very flavorful just now. That was a beautiful hit. I'm just gonna look to see how much I've got left. I mean, it was pretty much all gone. So next, I'm just gonna heat it up, and I'll clean it out with a Q-tip. Done. And now it's ready for a fresh batch of batter. And just so you know, that little smoke I got right there, I've been smoking on that. That's been like my third session. Like I put in just about the amount of a dab, and that has been 3 sessions. So this is the Puffco Proxy. The reason I love it, easy to clean, easy way to do concentrates. Love it. And that little sativa right there kicked in that other joint. That lemon haze did. The lemon haze came from somebody different. I wasn't able to go to a Ocala. I'm ashamed of myself, so I'm smoking the lemon haze, and I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. It just doesn't do it for me. And the paper, maybe with the rose, I think I enjoyed it as just a regular smoke. Just something to smoke, but with no entourage effect. I'm 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 a little disappointed. I was expecting a little bit, but maybe I'm doing that. Maybe it's the mead. The mead can throw me off a little bit because I can feel my brain. So I'm there. And I have no headache. I have no body pain. I guess it did the trick. Trust in the process sometimes. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Highly motivated Sunday smoke sesh. That's all this is. We get together. It's Sunday. If you have any extra tickets for the C Lab, anybody, I'm here for you. No, I think I might have some. I'm excited for the week ahead of us. I'm excited for the energy ahead of us. I'm excited. I'm excited because there's so much going on and there's so many events. We are in the month of events. I am looking forward to Dab Day. I'm just going to throw that out there in Jacksonville at the Glass Factory, Dab Day. I don't know if it's at the Glass Factory this time. Great place, great venue. If I had the money to rent that out, I would. I would for an event that Oregonji wants to put together. Just a very classy, artsy, expandable venue, or to keep it close knit. Oh, is it? Wait, yo. I'm writing it down. Thank you to Sensi. Thank you to Sensi over here for a discount code. And Sensi has an event. The date of your event is what, the 20th? What is the date of the Sensi event? I hear this is going to be huge. I hear it's going to be, through the roof. I love everything through the roof. Oh, well, of course, if I join them. And I don't know who I'm joining. I would have to join Goldflower, of course. I would be flogged if I didn't. I want to mention me smoking other people's shit tonight. I'm spoiled on Goldflower. I've been, I'm gonna go. We have lots of events. Yes, there are so many events. It's getting wild. October. So you got Dab Day, you got the Champs, you've got the C Lab, you've got MJ BizCon. There's the kickoff party. The kickoff party. See, MJ BizCon kickoff party. That's what's the date of that? I have to be there. And I probably have it written down, but it's good to write it down multiple more times so that you look at the date going, oh, I'm doing something that date. Okay. And the C Lab membership is cheaper than buying the ticket and conference, etc. Do you guys see that? So you get the C Lab membership. Boom, that's what you go and get. I think that's fire. I think that's fantastic right there. And at the C Lab, they're going to have some great speakers. I've been seeing it online all week in preparation for the event Monday and Tuesday. They have 2 days of conference, educational speakers, CEOs, legislators, doctors, and lawyers, and especially with the future of cannabis changing here in the state of Florida. I mean, Monday and Tuesday, tomorrow and Tuesday are going to be insane. And then so December 3rd, okay, awesome. Now December is also going to be on fire. I already know it. October, November, December, we are in the trifecta month right now. This is the trifecta month of events, of conferences, of summits, of change. What great energy. What great energy that is. Only thing I ask of everybody is to bring your energy, bring your goodness, bring your kindness, bring your openness, keep an open mind and open heart. this is a great opportunity to come on in and not only learn, but to spread great energy to everybody around you. That right there is the biggest gift. That right there is the biggest of gifts. I'm so excited. And I am. I'm incredibly excited because of the change that happens with great energy like that and the education that people get. And now they want more. They learn more. They understand more. When I learned that I can lose weight, regulate my blood sugar, I could straighten my mind, I can bring my health to more of a homeostasis and an understanding for better. Little changes make big changes later on. You almost have to trick your brain with the repetition of better, of wanting better, of of needing better for the body. I don't really drink, but I drink a mead, and the mead is delicious. It's fantastic. I might drink a little bit of sangria here and there. I do like sangria. Sangria is lovely. It's a fruity, twice fermented wine. I mean, lovely. This is why I don't drink. This is why I only smoke weed. Mm. Mm. To the last drop. That dragon's heart is good. And at the end of that, we're bringing the show to a close. Tonight, smoke sesh, Sunday. It's going to be a busy week ahead of me. I might have to get to Hollywood tomorrow, Florida, for C-Lab. Um, Maybe. Let's see. We'll find out. I'm incredibly excited. Oregonji will be in the house. And that's what's probably going to be happening. We'll see. I'm going to crash it. Very loud, very in charge. Um, but no, the energy and the week coming, we've got power coming back on in Tampa, fuel being delivered all across the state of Florida, especially in Tampa, where they need it the most. So power is coming back on. The roads are being pumped out and water diverted back to the bay of Tampa Bay where all the water disappeared. The pictures I saw were horrendous. No water. It all came to the land. It all went somewhere else. So power is coming back. Things are coming back. Everything's going to come back to normal. Everybody's going to start coming back to work. And that means this whole week, I'm going to start checking if I can get into Tampa. I've tried. I couldn't before. So if I can get into, I couldn't get into Sarasota, couldn't get into Bradenton, especially not St. Pete. So I'm going to try again this week to see how everybody's doing, to check on everyone. If I'm not at C-Lab, if I'm at C-Lab, well, I'm in Hollywood, then there you go. But if I'm not, then I'm going to be checking on people in Tampa and through Crystal River. Uh, I'm just, I know they sustained a lot of damage through Helene, and then they got a double kick of storm surge through Milton. After you left for C-Lab, that's when you get the power. Of course. Of course. This is how things work. It's like Murphy's Law. When you leave, then you get power. But at least you know you've got power when you come back. So that's a comfort. And that's good to know, knowing then Tampa has better power. I think the last I heard, there were still 50,000 people without power. That's still a lot of people, but they've been working on it through the clock, over the clock, or through the clock, through and over the clock. Through and over the clock, through and over the clock, over through, whatever. But they've been working on it night and day. There you go. I like that one better. And it's true. They have night and day. People's power is coming back. I'm probably going to make a run in there to drive my son's girlfriend back. We got her out of there right before the storm, and her neighborhood was destroyed. Just destroyed and flooded. Just terrible. So I am so happy that we got her out. And then this week, at some point, I'm taking her back. but I'm going back in before then as well. Around, 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 around. I just see around, and I'm just reading a chat, and the chat just says around. So I got stuck on that word. Wow. That being said, I will definitely be around everywhere. I usually am. I'll be here and I'll be there. I'll be everywhere. Possibly I'll be in Hollywood, Florida, or wherever C Lab is going on. I think it's Hollywood, I'm pretty sure. At a very interesting location. So I should be there tomorrow and Tuesday. Very excited. Or maybe just tomorrow, or maybe just Tuesday. We don't know. I'm out of mead. I'm going to go check on the other bottle just to make sure everything's okay. You have an amazing night. You have an amazing week. You approach everything as an adventure with excitement and enthusiasm, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're working with or working for. You're always working for yourself. You're always working for you because you're always showing the you and what you're doing is that job. If I have to mop a floor, for example, I'm going to mop that floor with joy, with excitement, with enthusiasm, with the dance moves of Fred Astaire and the singing of Danny Kaye. If you don't know who Danny Kaye is, you need to go find out. Singing, dancing, acting. Back in the day, I think I want to say it's like back with the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. No, he was back there. He was like still black and white television. Barely, I think he barely hit color television. But Danny Kaye, just incredible, uh, incredible energy that we don't see in acting today. Incredible energy, and not necessarily a good actor. I mean, but an amazing dancer. Fun. He was a fun, very precise dancer. He was very precise in everything he did. Danny Kaye was a very big entertainer, comedian, an actor, and dancer. And so these days he'd be an all around. He really would. And we don't see that in a lot of actors these days. A lot of actors don't dance. They don't sing. They're not comedians. They're just a singular facet in our psyche. Like, you know, you look at like John Wick. I can't remember his name. It's see, I can't remember his name. It's terrible. The Matrix. Keanu Reeves. Wow. When he first started, I didn't think he was going to be anything. And he has shocked me because he's more than an actor. He was he started as one thing and became so much more. He was what acting used to be. He was what the energy of acting used to be. I don't know what the fuck am I rambling on about. People, have a great week. Have a great night. I've got to go. I've got things to do. So do you. Be awesome. I hope to run into everybody. So have that amazing adventure for a week. Bring the journey, bring the excitement to everything you do. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. And you can catch me again on all the networks in all the places. Like me, share me, whatever. I appreciate it. Thank you. You're all awesome. You're all amazing. Arrivederci.